The following presentation was made possible by the Alltech Media Group, a Southern California multimedia company providing exponential branding and marketing services to all their clients. The Alltech Media Group understands the value of the 3W strategy, providing their clients proven, trackable results. Let us make it easy for you to grow your business. Visit alltechmedia.com.
The sponsor and speaker for this month, Ann Meyer of the Riverside County Transportation Commission. Created by a state legislature in 1976, RCTC plans and implements transportation and transit improvements, assists local governments with money for local streets and roads, helps smooth the way for commuters and goods movement, and ensures that everyone has access to transportation. Ann Meyer is an executive director at RCTC. She leads an organization with 49 employees and an annual budget exceeding $680 million. RCTC also oversees the Measure A program approved by voters in 1988 and 2002. Prior to joining the RCTC in May of 2005, Ann was the District 8 Director of the California Department of Transportation. Meyer holds a civil engineering degree from Michigan State University and is a registered civil engineer. Can we all please stand and give a round of applause to welcome Ann?
Thank you for having us here this morning. It truly is a treat for RCTC to be today's sponsor. Not only is this our 40th anniversary year, it's kind of hard to believe we've had a lot accomplished, but this is also a really important year, not only for RCTC, but also for the city of Corona, in that our flagship project is getting closer and closer to being done. I would be remiss if I didn't recognize the RCTC representative for the city of Corona, Karen Spiegel. Karen has been an amazing, yes, please, round of applause. Karen has been an amazing leader at RCTC, not only advocating for the big highway projects like what I'm going to be talking about today, but also in obtaining additional money for the Foothill Parkway project, which opened up this year, as well as serving on the MetroLink board, which for us, MetroLink is an important option for people to be able to use. So I'd like to thank Karen Spiegel for all of her support of RCTC and her advocacy on behalf of the city of Corona. So the question was asked, are we tired of the rain? I love the rain. It's beautiful. Everything is green and gorgeous. But for us, we're wrapping up this project, and every day of rain means every day of delay, potentially on the 91. But I'm really excited. Bobby Spiegel, did Bobby leave? No, there, Bobby. So Bobby asked me, are we more than 91% complete? Bobby, yes, sir. We're at 95. We are at 95% complete, and if you have been noticing over the past couple of days, we're really cranking through some of the finish-up work so that we can get this open as soon as possible. We're talking about opening near March 31st. The reason I'm hedging that a little bit is every day of rain means a day we can't pave and a day we can't put the striping down. And so March 31st is our target date. That is the date we will be having our dedication ceremony. To recognize the opening of the tolled express lanes and the main line on the freeway. So March 31st is our target date. It'll be around there somewhere. Again, really the control factor for us is going to be the rain. Although we're opening the main line and the tolled express lanes at the end of March, we still have several months left of work. I'm sure many of you have noticed that we're starting to install some of the landscaping. So you will be seeing additional landscaping work. We have more work to do on the local city streets, but the main work will be done. But probably through the fall, you'll be seeing additional work continue, as well as with some nighttime closures as well. Wanted to give you a little bit of background on the project. Again, Riverside County Transportation Commission is the lead agency. This is a $1.4 billion project. Funded out of federal, state, and local funds. I'm going to show you a chart, though, that really shows you that this was primarily driven by local funding. So this is an accomplishment of this community. It's an accomplishment of Riverside County. We did it with very little help, especially on the state side, and with some assistance on the federal side. Over 16,000 jobs were created, direct and indirect. And at the peak of construction, we had almost 1,300 workers on this construction site every day. We had men and women from trades working throughout the corridor, trying to get this project done as quickly as possible. And that was really a tremendous number of people. But what was most important is that prior to this project being under construction, this area had some of the highest unemployment in the construction trades in the entire state. And we were very proud to put a lot of these hardworking folks back to work, have them working in their own backyard and keeping them here in Riverside County. So we're very excited about the number of people we put to work. So this project is a design-build project, which means we did the design and construction simultaneously. It saved 3 years in the schedule on the project. I want you to pause and think about this for just a minute. So I was last here a year ago, and that was right after we did the steer clear 55-hour weekend closure, which was really kind of funny because everybody in Corona said, do it again. We don't want any traffic on the 91. But if you think back to a year ago and the work that we did at the Maple Street Bridge. We put up all of the steel and the false work for the bridge. We demolished Maple Street. We did a lot of paving work at I-15. So picture what this project looked like a year ago and look at what it looks like now. The progress on this project has been nothing short of astounding. Credit goes to the incredible work done by the contracting team, but also to the patience and resilience of the city of Corona, that not only the businesses, but the residents as well as the commuters. This project was built in record time, and it was important to do it that way because dragging a project of this magnitude out over a period of years can be really damaging. Full construction began in July of 2014. July of 2014. And we're 95% complete, and we're opening it in approximately a month. I've never seen, in my 33 years, I've never seen a project of this scope and this magnitude built as quickly as this one has been. It is a massive engineering, thank you. This is a massive engineering and construction feat. It's easy to forget that. We had 32 bridges. We had all of the connectors to the 15 and the 91, 6 brand new interchanges in the city of Corona. If you go to any other city throughout Riverside County, or actually take your pick, go to any other city in the state of California and ask what their number one project might be. If they're on a state highway, they'll probably say, oh, we need our entrance, we need our interchange built into the city. Corona got 6 brand new interchanges. All of the brand new frontage roads that will help people move throughout the city more readily. Railroad has been an important aspect of not only Corona, but also our region. We crossed that railroad 4 times with 6 different structures with over 100 trains a day rolling through here, both passenger rail and freight rail. It's a lot of work that needed to be done over those railroads, and we were able to do that safely. And then again, a lot of local street improvements that were done. The project not only employed an awful lot of people, but it also has returned millions of dollars back to Corona and Riverside County. And really our ultimate goal is that it will change how we travel. Will the 91 project that we've just built solve the trouble on the 91? Absolutely not. It is not a silver bullet. It will not, miraculously, traffic will not disappear on the 91. Right now, there are almost 300,000 cars a day on the 91. We expect that to be over 450,000 in the not too different future. So the 91 is always going to be a really heavily congested corridor, but this is going to provide people more options. They can choose to use the toll lanes. They can choose to use the general purpose lanes. We are going to be, we just bought brand new commuter buses for RTA, so we'll now have commuter bus service running every 20 minutes on the 91 to provide people with a lower cost, more convenient way to commute, to stop driving and have a comfortable commute. We'll be running those within the next 6 months. So this project provides options. It also, and one of the primary goals of this project was to give Corona back its streets. You have been faced with people traveling through your city streets for years trying to avoid the 91. And our goal here was to have the people who are going through Corona go through Corona on the freeway and to stay off your local streets, to return those streets to the citizens of Corona as well as the businesses. Yay, yes, absolutely. And another thing I want to point out with this project, we promised this project would be done in early 2017, and it's going to be. Over the 40-year history of RCTC, our mantra has been promises made, promises kept, and this is one that we are very, very proud to be keeping. I can guarantee you that. This has been an amazing partnership. The Atkinson-Walsh joint venture team, the entire project team, which is in addition to the over 1,300 people out in the field, there are hundreds more in the office and in the support crews helping to make sure this project is a success. Many members of this team, they've been working 6 and 7 days a week for 2.5 years. I think there was almost revolt one day. They demanded to have Mother's Day off, and so they did get Mother's Day off. I think they got Christmas Day off, but they were there on either side. So a very hardworking team, a very professional team, and we wouldn't have been able to do this without them. Caltrans, Burlington Northern, Santa Fe, City of Corona, absolutely. The City of Corona from top to bottom, the City Council, the City Management, Darrell Talbert and his leadership, Nelson, the City Engineer, Chief Abel, Lieutenant Gonzalez. We have had so many people who have been an active part of making sure this project was a success. The emergency responders, rolled up their sleeves and made sure that they helped to guarantee safety on the project and for the people who were traveling on the corridor. Again, the Chamber of Commerce and the businesses who were impacted by the not only the construction, but also the changing traffic patterns on a regular basis. I know we have worn out our welcome in many places, and we hope to earn that back in the future. And of course, the residents and the motorists who had to put up with these delays on a regular basis. And so this truly was a partnership. It was challenging at times, but I think we'll all be able to see in the near future that it was really important, not only for Corona, but also for our region. And I also did want to point out, I believe, is Wes still here? Yes, Wes, there he is. Wes Speak and Salt Shapiro were both 2 volunteers on our Corona Community Task Force. So we implemented a task force of volunteers to help provide us feedback and input. I wanted to personally thank Saul and Wes, as well as their other task force members, for the time that they provided to us, for their efforts, for their feedback. You could count on these 2 to absolutely tell us exactly what they thought. And I say that with a smile on my face, but also with deep gratitude and appreciation for everything that they did to help us make this a better project. So you probably noticed over the past week, we are starting to pave all of the local city streets. We did Main Street a couple days ago. I think Pomona is being paved today. Asphalt concrete has to go down when it's over 50 degrees, which means we need to pave during the day. We have a cold snap right now. We need to pave during the day, so you'll be seeing a lot more paving during daylight hours while it's warm throughout the city. We need to get those finished surfaces on all of the local streets. We need to reopen the westbound Maple Street off-ramp. We need to restore 2-way traffic on Maple Street Bridge, reopen the eastbound Surface Club on-ramp. And last week we started restriping the main line in the eastbound direction. I think we're starting, is it tonight? Starting tonight in the westbound direction. So over the next few weeks, you're going to start seeing this project get buttoned up in terms of the mainline traffic so that we're ready to get it open. I mentioned the project funding before, and you don't need to see the actual details. It's probably hard to do so, but what I wanted to point out, see that green slice of the pie? That's the local sources of funding. Measure A, voters in Riverside County have twice approved sales tax measure, a 1/2-cent sales tax dedicated to transportation projects and services. Almost all of the funding here is coming from local sources. This is self-governance, this is self-priorities. This is a really important slide. See that little red piece off to the right? That's state funds. It's only $2 million of a $1.4 billion project, only $2 million came from state sources. So when you talk about being self-reliant, this is certainly an example of that. And the other portions, we're very, very grateful that we were able to receive a $421 million federal loan, and I'd like to acknowledge Congressman Ken Calvert and Senator Dianne Feinstein for their incredible support in helping to make sure we receive those federal funds. Now the project features, we're adding 2 express lanes in each direction for the 8 miles extension from Orange County all the way to Interstate 15. We're adding a new regular lane between the 71 and the 15. We're building an express connector. We also call it Bridge 24. So that very large connector that you see being constructed between the 91 and the 15, that will be a direct connector for people using the toll facility, as well as all of the other improvements. You all have marketing information at your table. We also have a table in the back. The 91 express lanes are opening, and so what we need to make sure of is that people know how to use it. How many of you already have transponders and already use? It's a way of life for us, isn't it? Yes, it is. But there's a lot of other people that aren't regular users, and we expect that they'll start getting a transponder so that they too can have the option to use the toll facilities. So we've got some special promotions for those who are interested in signing up, and again, the details are at the table for you. It's interesting, we've got a lot of people who may not necessarily know how to use the toll facility. So here's a marketing piece that we're putting out so that people know how to use it.
The 91 express lanes just got better by adding 8 additional miles of travel time certainty to Riverside County. With the new extension, the express lanes offer 18 miles of stress-free travel between Orange and Riverside counties. You may now travel both directions between the 55 and 91 freeways and 15 South or McKinley Street, with an option to exit at the county line. Drivers traveling westbound may enter at McKinley Street or on the 15 northbound at Ontario Avenue, with exit options at the county line or the 55 and 91 freeways. The eastbound 91 express lanes are accessible from the 55 and 91 freeways. Exit options are at the county line, the southbound 15, or McKinley Street. And now you even have the option to enter at the county line. The first set of broken stripes is for vehicles exiting, and the second set is for vehicles entering. Remember, crossing the solid white line is prohibited. Using the express lanes is easy. A properly mounted fast-track transponder issued by any California toll agency is required. If you already have a fast-track transponder, you are all set. Or visit 91expresslanes.com to open an account. Traveling with 3 or more? Be sure to use the designated HOV 3+ lane, which is the far left lane at the toll points for both Orange County and Riverside County segments to get the carpool discount. All vehicles, including carpoolers, must have a properly mounted fast-track transponder. You cannot pay a toll by license plate or with cash. Overhead toll signs at each entry point display the price for traveling to each destination, which can also be found at our website. For example, when entering at the 55 and 91 freeways headed eastbound, the sign will display the price for traveling to the county line, the I-15, and McKinley Street. The price posted on the sign at your point of entry is the price you will be charged. For more information, to open an account, or obtain a transponder, please call, visit our customer service center, or our website. The 91 express lanes. Safe, reliable, predictable.
Probably the single most frequent question we get is, how do I know how much I'll pay if I use the lanes? And so that's why we emphasize that. And in that so many people are used to using the toll lanes already, it's usually how much will I be paying if I take the entire stretch. So remember when I talked about promises made, promises kept. And I think one thing that is also been important throughout RCTC's 40-year history is that we don't just rest on our laurels and say, okay, job well done, and let's stop and pause and think about what we're going to do next. Well, next is here. When we started this project, we promised that as soon as the 91 project was done, we would immediately follow that with the project on the I-15, and that's exactly what we are doing. The I-15 Express Lanes project is our second major tolling project. It will add 2 express lanes in both directions to Interstate 15 from Cahelco Road to State Route 60, so about 14.6 miles. We'll have multiple exit and entry points along the I-15 corridor. This is a picture that shows the project area. Again, Cahelco on the south, State Route 60 at the north. And it will again provide 2 toll lanes in each direction. Now, if you picture I-15, it's a lot different than the 91, but I-15 has a lot of room in the median. It has a very wide median there, so the lanes we're building on I-15 will be built in the median. We will also primarily be focusing on those median lanes. We'll be widening some bridges in the median, but we will not be doing major interchange reconstruction. So I-15 is probably a third of the size of the 91 project and much less complex and much less impactful on traffic. So the benefits of this project are that it will improve existing and future mobility along I-15. It will connect into the 91 project, remove traffic impediments, as well as provide time savings and choices. One of the things that we keep hearing most frequently on the I-15 project is the project isn't big enough and we want you to go all the way south down to the 74. We simply don't have the money to do that. That's probably another $800 million to go south. So this is the first phase on I-15, and the southern section will come next. Estimated schedule on the I-15 project, we are once again using design build. We will be awarding the design build contract probably in April of this year, and construction will begin in 2018 with the lanes opening in mid-2020.